This is Charlie Kao with Travel Mall and with Sisa Ntshona, the new CEO of South Africa Tourism. Sisa, I have friends in South Africa Tourism. When I said I was going to meet you here in Berlin, they had very high level praise for you. A visionary, they told me. So first, let's get to that. What is your vision for South Africa as it relates to tourism?
Hi, Charlie, and thanks for the question. I think our focus is really looking at the business of tourism, its impact on our economy as a country, basically, and the resultant jobs that we can create from it. You know, the whole world is struggling right now with the fourth industrial revolution, where literally robots will be taking over from people. Tourism is a great mitigator of that because it's still what I call a contact sport. It's about people, it's about experiences, it's about flavors, it's about the entire package basically. And as South Africa, we want to put up our hand amongst the world and say, well, come for a different experience, come from something more meaningful basically. And South Africa is the ideal destination to get all of that.
So you have something in mind of how you're going to achieve that?
Absolutely. We always, all the time, investing more and more in what I call our insights and analytics. That gives us market intelligence. That allows us to be very deliberate and specific as to how we market to you individually. We get to know your interests, we get to know your areas of expertise as well, and what will resonate with you. So therefore, over time, you'll see much more targeted marketing that really talks to your needs and desires. And hopefully that should make a connection that allows you to come and experience something new.
So it has less to do with the assets, the product. That's there. You'll always work to refine it.
Yep.
But is to target what those offerings, those tourism assets to the traveler.
Look, we don't want to offer more of the same, but we absolutely look for differentiators. What's unique about it, right? As you said, a hotel room is a hotel room is a hotel room, basically, and does just differ on the level of luxury. But what is that unique thing that you can walk away from South Africa? Is it the people, right? Is it the food? Is it the smell? Is it whatever it is? And how we package that. And we really want to, to market ourselves as having an array of products. Not only just safari, not only the beach, not only the mountain, not only nature basically, but other rural tourism is something that's developing quite nicely as well. And we also want to make sure that we talk to your needs. We're seeing much more people asking around, sustainable tourism, right? Is the establishment that are staying in, responsible in terms of how they carry out their business? So all of these things need to be packaged and make sure that we can deliver it to our target audience.
To put things in perspective, last year, South Africa broke the 10 million visitor mark. And it represented an 18% increase from prior year. So what propelled this growth, and what's your strategy for sustaining? Well, you want to sustain the growth.
Absolutely. We all live in a global village. And when an incident happens somewhere around the world, basically, you get other markets benefiting from it. We had a stellar year last year. We came off from a relatively lower base because we had two specific issues around Ebola, and the world decided that the whole of Africa has Ebola. So therefore we saw our numbers dent a little bit on that side. We also had a bit of confusion internally around the visa regulation. We've sorted those out, and now we are geared up essentially basically to grow from leaps and bounds. We want to maintain this momentum, and it becomes important in terms of how we invest our resources, our times and energies to make sure that we are competitive, not only in price but more value, with our potential competitors out there. Because the tourist has a choice. You can go anywhere around the world. What is it that's going to be unique around South Africa? We do also realize that we're at the most southern tip of the African continent, and therefore that makes us a long-haul destination for many countries around. So therefore, we want to make sure that when you get into the airplane, right, and you travel for 5 hours plus, you do get the most valuable experience that can actually set you apart. And make sure as well that we get repeat business. In our German market, as an example, we get repeat business about 3 or 4 times over, which is actually quite key. And we want to build on that and make sure that we strengthen it.
I think most people, well, everybody's heard of Cape Town. I think some people know, and many get confused, where is the wildlife in Africa? In South Africa, they may not know South Africa, Swahili land and so forth has a lot of that.
That's right.
So you have the ocean all around, beaches and so forth. I think also people don't know that Johannesburg has been Africa's most visited city, and that's according to some MasterCard Global Destination City study. What is the strategy as Johannesburg is getting discovered for that it is really a viable, fun place to go? What is the strategy to get its appeal known around the world?
So Johannesburg is the economic hub of South Africa, right? It's actually the economic hub of Africa. And we also have the busiest airport hub on the continent. So therefore we find a lot of people come and visit Johannesburg first to kind of going elsewhere. But what Johannesburg has done quite nicely is to actually extend themselves, not just being a business destination, but also leisure destination as well. And I think the fruits of that are starting to pay off. Right? It is important therefore for us to show the entire experience of South Africa. Because as I said to you, a third time or fourth time visitor wants to see something different than the beaches, than the safari, than the mountains and stuff. What else do we have to offer? And I think this is the unique hidden gems that we're starting to release bit by bit, basically, that start to complete that unique experience that we are able to offer. We've got 9 provinces in the country, and at the moment probably about 3 provinces get the lion's share. We want to make sure that we bring the other 6 in online, on stream, and each one of them is differentiated from the other.
The newly launched mobile app, My Village, that's what is that going to do to help people plan, or is it more of a tool for when people have arrived in South Africa?
We're always enhancing that all the time, and it needs to be able to do both. We need to be able to interact with you even before you have taken your trip, to make sure that once we understand your needs, your desires, your preferences, you are able to send you regular information on that, as an example. Once you're in the country, we also want to ensure that you have your own personal guide with you that is able to interact with you should you want to know some information about a specific environment or specific space. The visitor experience is also something that's quite important to us. So should there be a service failure, we want to be able to be given the opportunity to rectify that. Right? It's how quickly we recover from it. And therefore that feedback becomes important so that we can learn and improve and make sure that basically we have recovered from that.
So it's not just the tourist office, but also the service provider.
Absolutely.
So they'll learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So therefore, you need one space to channel all of this, and then we will, the back end of it, make sure that we get in contact, with the relevant person or area that has dropped the ball, and make sure that we're able to feed back in.
Indaba, South Africa Tourism's yearly trade show, is taking place this year, May 16th through the 18th in Durban. Who should attend, and what will they take away from it?
Okay. So we've expanded Indaba just from being a South Africa trade expo, but it's now an African trade expo. We've invited all the other countries of the continent to come on board and to showcase their capabilities, to showcase the uniqueness to the rest of the world. We are deliberately bringing in targeted buyers as well to make sure that supply gets to meet demand and deals are done. we want to spearhead this and make sure that that annual indaba, as we call it, basically grows from year to year to year, basically in that regard. Africa is uncharted territory. There's a lot of misconceptions around it, and hopefully the more we get to tell our own stories, the better we're able to project ourselves to the world and bring in that uniqueness basically coming through.
Sisa Ntshona, CEO of South Africa Tourism, a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being on board.